stupid things. Now, I know you don't do stupid things, okay? You don't feel stupid. I know that, but a person that's sitting on your right, they do. Okay? Don't look at them. You know who they are. You know who they are. Don't look at them. Don't look at them. They're making me feel weird. Okay? So, for example, not only was I Eve when I was a freshman, I was also, when I was an 8th grader, I was in the school spelling bee. And I was the 8th grader. I was the stud speller. You know, there's nothing cooler than a good speller. And I was rocking it. Thank you. And I had gone all the way to the championship of our school, okay? And I was the oldest, I was the 8th grader, there was another 8th grade girl, 7th graders, what did they do? 6th graders, losers, 5th graders, we didn't have them. It was my turn. Second round of the entire spelling bee. The whole student body's in the school, in the auditorium. They're watching this. I was thinking, great, this is my chance to stand out. The teacher says, Matt, I want you to spell the word lion. Lion? Yeah, like the lion roared in the jungle. Oh, lion. L-O-I-N. No. My teacher gasped, oh, Matt, that's loin. Okay, it was a Christian school. Everyone in school knows what your loins are. So I became loin boy. In 8th grade, in my back of my head was seated this idea, you're no good because you're loin boy. I had like little 5th graders saying, you smell loin. Shut up! I'll kill you, little boy! And they're like, loin boy's angry. So I thought I was such a loser, but deep down I knew I couldn't be a loser because, hello, I'm rocking the spot. And so then I go out. When I was 12 years old, I was in Scouts, because Scouts rocks, and it was my first camp out. I wanted to be so cool with all the older Scouts. So we have these things, they're called meals ready to eat, what the military eats, and they kind of seal them in containers. And I had this really great little cracker and jam thing, and I ate the crackers, but I didn't want the jam, okay? Who does? Didn't want the jam, so I took the jam that was in a can, and it was sealed. It was like a little tuna fish can, and I threw it in the fire. Yeah, like what's the worst thing that can happen when you throw a sealed container with hot boiling fluids in it into a fire? What's the worst thing that can happen? Well, how about a bomb, okay? How about a bomb? So I'm sitting there, loin boy, my first scout party, my meeting, what do they call it, my camp. And loin boy tossed the bomb in the fire. I'm just sitting there, we're listening, we're learning about Sasquatch. I was so scared. I'm like, and then Sasquatch comes down and he eats you. And then right then, BAM! The bomb goes off. And hot jam shoots on everybody. And all the people are like, hey, my parents! It's horrible. And they're like, who put jam in the fire? And I'm like, I don't know, who did that? What kind of idiot does that? Idiot! Kill him! Kill him! Where's Jam Boy? Makes me sick! So back in my head, I didn't tell anybody, you don't look stupid. The back of my head, I always knew, I was loin boy. And Jam Boy, the bomber. Then I came to high school and I was E. And how not cool that is. So back in my head, I always had these ideas that you're not good, you're not good. You look hot, but you're not good. That's what I ever about that. But it felt weird. I thought, are you guys asleep? Okay, just checking. So I had all these weird feelings. Do you ever feel that way? Do you ever feel like, deep down, if anyone ever really knew you, they wouldn't like you? I feel that way. And you know what? I started to feel that way, and I felt it in high school, and I didn't get it, and I realized, so this is one of my greatest learnings of all time. It took place when I was your age. I wasn't loin boy. That was just a bad day. I wasn't Jam Boy, the bomber. I wasn't. That was just a bad camp. I wasn't E. Hey, even though I look good. You know where I learned it? I learned it in a dance. So you see all these things, we're going to the dance, ask to the dance. We all participated in that. It was at a dance. So I'm sitting there, I was a senior. I didn't want to go to any more dances. I was sick of dances. And you feel that way sometimes? Sick of them. So I decided I gotta go, I'm gonna go. I got this weird impression as I saw a girl that I needed to ask that girl to the dance. okay? She was in one of my classes, and this girl, her name was Amanda, she changed my life forever. One girl changed my life forever. Amanda was in a wheelchair, by the way. The power of one person to change a life, just like Amanda. And she had no idea how much she changed my life. But she taught me the most valuable lesson. If we're going to create a spirit of we are Alta, the spirit has to begin somewhere. And it doesn't begin outside. It doesn't begin by going to the activities. It begins by when you're there at the activities, that you're there and you're present. Where the spirit of we are Alta starts is inside of us. And it all started with me with this Amanda. She was in a wheelchair. I got this prompting. I can't explain it. I need to ask Amanda to the dance. And I'm not telling you this because I think I'm the bomb. I'm telling you this because this girl that a lot of people would have discounted changed my life forever. And it's one reason I'm here. And I think we all need to know this. So I asked her brother, do you think I could take your sister to the dance? He says, well, yeah, but you'll have to ask my dad. And I'm like, has your dad ever heard of Jam Boy the Bomber? And the spirit came back to me like, you're a loser, you can't do this, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not talented enough, and you can't spell line. And all these things started coming over me. So I went over and met with her dad. Her dad sat me down in his office, and he said, why are you doing this? And I honestly didn't have a good answer. I just feel like I should. We talked. At the very end of it, he let me take her to the dance. We then spent the rest of the evening, and he showed me how to fold her chair up, how to take care of it, how to get her fed, how to lift her into the chair, how to make all these things happen. It was the hardest dance I had ever been to, because I had never had to do so much. Before you show up, you go spend some time together, you eat.
Teachers, the assembly is running over about 8 minutes. If you'll keep the...
Great.
We will ring the bell as soon as we know that the assembly has ended.
Loin boy, jam boy, go over assembly boy. Never mind, I'm out of here. So I go pick her up. She looked so beautiful. It was a holiday, it was a Halloween assembly, it was a Halloween dance. So she was dressed as a cheerleader, a blonde, by the way. And I was a basketball player, ripped. And go to the dance. We danced. It was the greatest dance. I didn't know how to dance with someone in a wheelchair. I didn't know how to do that. I've seen people like sit on their laps, but I thought I'd crush her. So I didn't do that. I didn't want to be crusher boy too. So I asked her, hey Amanda, how do we dance? And guess what she said? Just pick me up and hold me. Thank you, ladies. And I picked her up, so the entire dance I got to hold her. She was so light, her legs were so small, I could literally wrap my hand around her. It was the greatest dance of my life. Then, I forgot to tell you, the #1 failure in my high school that I ever had, and I did it every about quarter, is I ruined every dance picture I was ever in. It's something I'm very proud of. I literally would destroy it because inside I'd feel like, you're loin boy, you're jam bomb boy, you're all these things boy. So when we had to take pictures, I'd ruin them. I'd get self-conscious and self-aware, and I'd be so worried. And they say, smile, 1, 2, 3, Every picture I ruined. Girls wouldn't ask me to go because I'd ruined the picture. I had to sign contracts saying I wouldn't ruin the picture. And those pictures were like, Long story short, we're standing in front of everybody, because back then they tortured you by making everybody watch you take your picture. Do they still do that? They want thousands of people to make you feel uncomfortable. So I'm standing there. By the way, I'm holding her. And in my head, I'm thinking, you can't blow this. And the coolest thing happened. I got out of me, and I started thinking, Amanda needs a really good picture. Amanda needs a really good picture. And I took, and they said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I took the picture. Best picture of my life. And it all was simply because for the first time, I realized it's not about me. The power of life is not about you. I believe the power is inside of you, but the power is not about you. The power is when I turned my arrows out to Amanda, I changed. And when you turn your arrows to each other in a kind, loving way, and you live that goodness that's inside of each of us, and when you follow the promptings to be really good people, and to serve, and to care, that's how we change the world. Amanda changed me by letting me go with her. That changed me for life and for good. Now, here's what I believe. Down the halls of this high school, there are people that are hurting. There are people that are sad. There are people that feel inadequate and weak and inept. And they're on the football team, and they are in the cheerleading squad, and they're student body leaders. They are all humans. And the neat thing about being human is we all can feel a lot of things. One of the hard things is most humans feel sad and weak at times. I'm here to tell you, you are the most amazing people on earth. Not because of what you do, but because of what Emerson taught. Emerson taught that inside of every one of us in this room, there's a divine spark. There's this powerful spark inside all of us to do good. Gandhi believed in that divine spark, which is why he didn't believe that I should fight against other people. That's why he created the movement called peaceful resistance. He knew that how could I fight against other divine sparks? Mandela understood this. Mother Teresa understood the divinity in another person. Somebody asked him, how do you ever go and serve all of these people that are so sick and dying all of the time? And she says, because when I'm serving them, I see my maker in their face. She understood the value of a person. Mandela, every single person, Martin Luther King, the suffragettes that believe, why can't women vote? If they have a divine spark inside of them, they should have a vote. Martin Luther King, all of these people, all of these movements were created by each of us understanding, not just me, but understanding inside of everyone here. I believe when we say we are Alta, that's what I believe we're saying. Right now it's Alta. In a few years it'll be another university. In a few years it'll be, we are Utahns. In a few years it'll be something else. But the reality in the end, what it is about, is you are people that are of magical worth. Now here's the last thing I gotta tell you. One of my favorite things that I've ever learned is the power of each of us to impact each other. In this room, I truly believe is the cure to diseases and cancer are going to be done by people in this school. The cures to Alzheimer's and other diseases are in this room. You have it in you. I need you to believe that you're powerful. When you start to feel inadequate, don't live down to that. One of my favorite quotes is a quote that Nelson Mandela used when he was elected president, the first black president in South Africa. On the front row, he had been in jail about 18 years. When he was at his election, he had on the front row his jailers. He invited his jailers to sit right there. And he didn't do it to say, neener, neener, loser. He did it because he was trying to show, I can overcome this. If I can overcome this and become friends with my jailers, everyone in the country can do as well. We are not the Loin Boys. We are not the Jam Bombers. We are not our most embarrassing moments. By the way, that's truth. There's another truth. You are not just an athlete. You are not just a cheerleader. You are not just a blonde or a brunette. You're not even just a man or a woman. You are a being, this is what he taught, of infinite worth. When you play small, there's nothing enlightened about that. When you don't live up to your best inside of yourself, nobody grows. Our worst fear in life is not that we're inadequate and weak and stupid and loin-boy. Our worst fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. I want you to know, I truly believe you are powerful beyond measure. I know you're insecure at times. And when we're insecure, we make other people feel insecure. Let's change that here at Alta. When I'm insecure, I'll put you down. Let's not do that anymore. Let's start to notice that we are not our weaknesses. Instead, let's remember, we are our greatest strengths. And most importantly, when we get thousands of us together in our strength, we are Alta. That's the spirit of We Are Alta. You are gold. Trust me. Did you remember Sandy Hook Elementary? All you need to remember is if we lose one person at Alta, we lose at Alta. If there's one person in this school that is considering ending their life, we aren't whole. We need you all. We need everyone to play their song. We need everyone to finish the race. I don't even care when you finish it. Just finish it, and while you're here in this race of life, offer all that you have. Let's leave no one behind. Make that your goal, okay? Turn your arrows out instead of in, and I promise you'll finally find the peace. You are awesome, Alta. God bless. Goodbye.
after the assembly.